How you guys
So
feel
what?
about
What's
50-50?
bro? Shout out to my man Logic being on there, man. I didn't know he was. Is that Logic on there? Was that Mr. Logic? The first guy. Is that him? Oh no, that's not him. My bad.
That's not him.
I thought that was him.
I feel like the
Apologize.
guy in the green was I agree with most of their answers, but the guy in the green gave me the vibes that like Aisha was talking about. Like he was just like 50-50. And if you bring something up, you should do it, which I agree. If I feel like I'm gonna take you out, I got it. Like I wanna go to KSP, I wanna do bungee jumping, I wanna go skydiving, I got it. But he was like, but if you ask me for something, nah, I ain't with it. You handle yourself. So in a dating, that's cool. But if you're thinking like that for marriage and long-term relationships, it sounded like he was kind of hurt. The second guy, he seemed like he gave a more realistic answer, but at the same time, it was like, do you cover 100% all the time? Like, I'm thinking about that. The third guy, I feel like that's put a lot of pressure on men. Like, it makes them think, like, especially if he's the one that get picked, they're gonna be like, oh, I have to come 100%. I have to tell him I'm always doing 100%, instead of being realistic about the economy. He did bring up, like, okay, yeah, sometimes it's 70-30. And I'm glad that he kind of elaborated on that. But that first guy, he seemed like he was kind of damaged. Like he didn't want to go past 50% if he had to, like I'm not doing it. And in the dating realm, I guess guys do have that right. Because, like I said, in the dating realm, I'm not expecting the guy to do something for me that I can't do for myself. I really want to do for myself, and then just see what type of guy you are, you do for yourself. And when we get serious, then we kind of start inching our way towards each other with resources. But yeah, it just shows how I think that shows how guys really are worried about women, just wanting them for money. That's what I saw. They really be like they put certain rules in place to make sure that they're not getting those women that just want their money.
Well, my question is, can we understand the woman? Let's just say the Fresh Prince, not Fresh Prince. Let's say Uncle Phil and what's the other girl named Hillary. Let's say Uncle Phil trained his daughters up to go after men or only settle for men that have the lifestyle that I provide to my wife. And you don't work. You know what I'm saying? You don't work. Or let's just say Jeff Bezos' daughters, they go after men and they don't work, rich man. Can we understand a woman, that type of woman coming in saying, oh, I don't do 50-50 because that's how I was raised? Can we at least understand those type of women that come into the dating market?
Yeah, but is that how the first girl? Because if we are gonna understand that, is that the reason why the girl said, "Do I look like somebody who go 50-50?" Like, is that how her dad raised her? Did she have a dad?
I don't even
Because
know
then, if
who
that's
she.
the case, we can excuse her behavior for saying that.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know where she came, what upbringing she came from.
I definitely think that we have to take background and culture into consideration. Like, just for a quick example, this is just a very surface example. I watched this reality show called Dubai Bling on Netflix, right? And in their culture, they get married and their husbands take care of them. Some of them have prestigious careers or, want to, and some of them are taken care of at home, but that is just the foundation of their beliefs. But when a woman is coming from a selfish place of, I just want to take, I think that's different. Or if a woman is only solely talking about finances, you know what I'm saying? I think that I think that any father would want to teach their daughter to be with a provider, a man who has a providing mindset, who is resourceful and, is resourceful and does have that ambition versus somebody who only makes a certain dollar amount and that is the main thing.
All right.
So
Anybody
Bruiser,
want to
which
get
one was you
married
talking about? Was you it was you said Hillary is Vivian, but which one was you talking about? Light skinned Vivian or dark skinned Vivian?
No, I was
No,
talking
he was
about
talking about Hillary, the daughter.
the daughter.
Oh, the daughter. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Because
I
you got to
thought it was the
understand,
wife.
if women come from that type of lifestyle, I think they kind of want to mirror that type of lifestyle, or want to be ushered into a similar adjacent lifestyle when they leave the household. So you got to kind of understand that some guys, I don't know, I don't even know if this is an argument for punching outside of your weight class. I'm gonna use your words, Trev. So like if I pull up on a girl and I'm like, oh shit, that's Uncle Phil's daughter. And I'm working at Lowe's or some shit, and I'm living at an apartment that's $1,100 a month and damn near living paycheck to paycheck. I don't think I'm gonna go for Hillary. You get what I'm saying?
Do you
And I
think if
might
that guy
get
go for her, he's being selfish
You
just like the woman is, like how you said with women, if they just think about just the
you
dollar?
No,
huh?
I see Bruce's point.
So
You have a point there, because I think I found out later on, like it was like maybe a guy or two I remember having a crush on, like in high school. Later on, they told me your dad and brothers, the standard was too high. I knew I couldn't compare. I couldn't compete with that. I was staying away from you. I wasn't, and the caliber of family that my husband came from, he knew what time it is. He knew the family that he came from with his father and his brothers, and he knew what they stood for. So he knew that, like you said, we're cut from the same cloth, and that he could stand next to my father and my brothers. But you're right. If you see somebody and that's not your weight class, you better stay back. So I see your point there. I see your point.
So let me ask you this, Bruce. So now when you say that, right? Like you run into a female, you can't really bag her. She outside your weight class. Does that kind of support Nicole's point where she say, "Do I look like I go 50-50?"
I think that's when Di asked that question, though, and I think I kind of conceded with her, like I don't know where she comes from. Like, does it warrant? Like, does her lifestyle, her upbringing warrant this type of man that's capable of doing it? And then we may have to take that in consideration to try to understand her mindset, and then just wave her off as, oh, she's just out of order or something. Like, what is her background? Like, she might come from the Coming to America or shit like that. Like, we don't know where she came from. Like, I don't know. Like, her father and mother may have trained her into be a housewife. You know what I'm saying? And I can understand that some guys are like, well, if she don't come virgin, then I ain't finna. Yeah, but if she's coming out of the household from her father, and her father's training her up to be a wife, nurturing, submissive, all that stuff, and that maybe not be the woman for you. You might have to not try to knock her or tear her down. Just understand their cultural background and the traditions the family have, and maybe marry into something that you can, so to speak.
So
I
I
just
think
wonder,
if
like,
she was
and
truly, I'm sorry, there. I'm just gonna say this. I think if she
I
was
think we
truly
was
the
gonna
woman
make the
that,
same point.
yep, I think if she was truly the woman that you're speaking of, she wouldn't have said it and stated it like that. So we're solely talking off of how she said what she said. If she was raised to be a housewife and this and that, she could say, "Hey, my standard is that I was so solely brought up and bred to pour into my family and my husband. I don't want to be in the workforce, and so I need a partner that can understand that I want to steward a home. That is my main focus, and that is how I want to be a wife. I will not be in the workforce. I'm going to pour myself into my husband and my children and my home. And so a man has to understand that if he's going to deal with me. If she said it like that, we wouldn't be having this conversation at all.
But her Instagram can't look the way it look, and she tried to ask for that anyway. Not her.
But you get,
Not
but
her.
you get what I'm saying. If it's
Yeah,
actually
no,
a
I dig it.
woman,
Not to take away from your point, but I'm just saying this
Yeah.
particular woman, she can't get that.